Imagine tapping your card at the same supermarket you have shopped at for 11 years, walking out with your groceries feeling completely normal. 2 hours later, while you are still unpacking those groceries at home, your entire bank account is empty, $46,000 gone. Not because you gave anyone your PIN, not because you clicked a link, not because you did anything wrong at all. That is exactly what happened to a 73-year-old retired nurse named Dorothy in Brisbane. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why and how to make sure it never happens to you. Welcome back to my channel, Australia Pension Hub. Today, we are talking about a mistake millions of Australian seniors are making every week without realizing it, one involving something as ordinary as a debit card. Dorothy is careful, smart, and spent her whole career looking after other people as a nurse. She is not the kind of person you would expect to lose her life savings to a scam, yet she did. And understanding exactly how it happened is the key to protecting yourself or anyone you love who is over 60 and still using a debit card the way most of us were taught to use one. When Dorothy called her bank, they explained what had happened. Criminals had secretly installed a skimming device on the payment terminal at her supermarket overnight, silently capturing her card details the moment she tapped, and within 2 hours her account had been drained completely. Dorothy is far from alone. In 2024, Australians aged 65 and over reported more than 62,000 scam incidents, with losses approaching $100 million, making seniors the hardest hit financial group in the country. And in 2026, the tactics used against them are more sophisticated and harder to detect than ever. So let us get straight into it. The most dangerous debit card mistake Australian seniors are making right now is using a card that is directly linked to their main bank.
Account for everyday tap-and-go purchases. I know that sounds strange, because that is exactly what a debit card is designed for. But here is the problem hiding underneath that ordinary habit. When your card is tied directly to your main account, the account holding your pensions, savings, and bill payments, every single tap becomes a direct line between that payment terminal and everything you own. If that terminal has been compromised, through a hidden skimming device, a merchant data breach, or any of the dozens of methods criminals now use, your entire account is exposed, not just the cost of your shopping. Dorothy did not lose $46 buying groceries. She lost $46,000 because her everyday spending card was connected straight to the account holding her life savings. Australian authorities, including the Federal Police, the Banking Association, and ASIC, have all issued warnings about this exact pattern throughout 2026 because it is happening with increasing frequency. Let us walk through how criminals are actually emptying these accounts, because the methods have evolved and most seniors are not aware of how they work. The first method is card skimming. Devices are secretly fitted onto ATMs, supermarket terminals, and petrol pump readers, built to be invisible to the naked eye, capturing your card details the instant you tap or swipe. Some setups include a tiny hidden camera to record your PIN, while others lift contactless data without you inserting your card at all. The Australian Banking Association confirms skimming remains one of the most common forms of payment fraud in the country, and seniors are disproportionately targeted because they tend to shop at the same locations repeatedly, making it easy for criminals to plant a device. The second method is data breach theft. Every time you use your card, whether online or in person, your details pass through payment systems. If a business experiences a breach,
and these have become far more frequent across Australian companies, your information can be stolen without any physical contact with your card. Criminals often test stolen details with small, unnoticed charges before draining larger amounts. The third method is bank impersonation. The Federal Police reported earlier this year that these scams are becoming increasingly convincing. A common pattern involves an automated call claiming your card was just charged for something unusual, sometimes travel tickets, sometimes an overseas purchase, asking you to press a number to dispute it. The moment you engage, a scammer posing as a bank fraud officer takes over, tells you your account is compromised, and instructs you to move your money into a so-called safe account that actually belongs to the criminal. One victim in the Federal Police's recent report transferred $156,000 this way, and even granted the scammer remote access to her computer after being told they needed to check it for viruses. These calls appear legitimate because scammers spoof your real bank's number on your caller ID. Remember this clearly. Your bank will never ask you to move money into a safe account, request your PIN over the phone, or ask for remote access to your computer. If anyone asks for any of these things, hang up and call your bank using the number printed on the back of your card. Now, let us talk about the solution, a simple, practical fix that genuinely limits the damage if the worst happens.
Open a second separate bank account with a low balance and its own dedicated card, used exclusively for everyday spending. Keep only enough to cover your typical weekly costs, groceries, fuel, pharmacy visits, somewhere around $200 to $500, and use that card everywhere. Here's why this works. If that account is ever compromised through skimming or a breach, criminals can only reach what is sitting in it, not your entire pension and life.
Savings. Your main account stays untouched at every checkout, used only for online banking and planned transfers you initiate yourself from a secure device at home. This one change is the single most effective step any Australian senior can take right now. And most banks make it easy to set up, often at no extra cost, with an automatic weekly transfer keeping your spending account topped up. Here is exactly what to do starting today. First, check whether your current card is linked to your main savings account by logging into internet banking or calling your bank. Second, ask about opening a separate everyday transaction account with its own card, offered by the Commonwealth Bank, NAB, ANZ, Westpac, and most credit unions. Third, set up a small automatic weekly transfer covering only what you expect to spend. Fourth, review your last 30 days of transactions for anything unfamiliar, including tiny test charges that often precede larger fraud. Fifth, treat any unexpected call asking for a transfer, your PIN, or remote computer access as a red flag. Hang up and call your bank using the number on your card. Sixth, if you suspect you have been compromised, contact your bank immediately and report it to ScamWatch, run by the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, since speed genuinely improves your odds of limiting losses. One more important update. From the 12th of March 2026, the Australian Financial Complaints Authority can now consider complaints against the bank that received scam funds, not only the bank that sent them. Previously, a receiving bank carried little accountability if your money landed in a criminal's account there. Under the new framework, that bank may share responsibility if it failed to flag obviously suspicious activity. This does not guarantee your money back, but pursuing a complaint through the Financial Complaints Authority is now genuinely worth doing, even if your own bank says the funds are unrecoverable. Dorothy
eventually recovered part of her money after her bank reversed a portion of the transactions before they fully cleared, though a significant amount was gone for good. She later told a friend that if she had simply used a separate account with only a few $100s in it for her everyday shopping, the criminals would have gotten almost nothing. She is right. One extra account, one separate card, and a small weekly transfer is all it takes to keep your pension and your life savings completely out of reach of anyone who compromises a checkout terminal at your local supermarket. Set this up before something happens, not after. If this video helped you, hit like right now and tell me in the comments whether you knew your debit card could expose your entire savings account. I read every comment, and I genuinely want to know how many of you this surprised. Subscribe to Australia Pension Hub so you never miss an update on scams, banking safety, and everything else Australian seniors need to know to protect their money. And share this with someone over 60 who still uses a debit card for everyday shopping, because what happened to Dorothy is happening every single week, and most never see it coming until it is too late.